So then
question.
Yeah.
Are visitors actually opting out at the moment? What kind of
I don't know if Erik, if you have some statistics on how many people have opted out, but it's not very few.
My experience is that fractions of percent.
And AdaptLogic have also done the same kind of installations in Sweden, so with Schibsted, with Aftonbladet, and with Bonnier sites, and also with Stampen, so Göteborgs-Posten and Eniro. And I think your experience from those are very similar. So then about the Nokia launch campaign. So this was our first pilot customer. So this was in I think November last year when we started. So here, what Nokia wanted to do is to have 6 different creatives for 6 different sort of target segments that they had for the launch campaign. So for example, people who are interested in taking photographs, they wanted to tell about the new camera features for this phone, or people who are interested in music, they wanted to tell about the music features of this new device. So they wanted to get people to buy more N8 through the Nokia store. So we were able to tag almost all the way to the Nokia store. They wouldn't allow us to actually go to the thank you for your order page, but we were able to tag so how many actually entered the store. And then the secondary goal was to gain insight into, okay, so who are the people who are actually going to the store and who are going to the campaign pages. And so what we did first was that we then took this data that we have about different interests. So this is from the Leiki system, and we did the segmentation model. So for example, who are the ones who are interested in music, and then we sort of did a sort of manual process of finding what kind of content have they browsed, the people who are interested in music, and what are the kind of keywords that actually are attached to those profiles of users that are interested in music. And then we did a couple of iterations where we then looked at, so the people that actually went through this Nokia music creative and went to the Nokia page, what was in their profile from their profile history. And then we came up with these kinds of lists. And there you see that, for example, mobile phones interest was in pretty many of these user profiles. But then there are some fairly things which you wouldn't think of, for example, like Crown Princess Victoria. So this is what we're showing here is that normally for an advertiser, they probably wouldn't know beforehand that these are the kind of content or the kind of sites that users are interested in, where you should put the ad for this particular product. Through having this iterative process, then we can find that, okay, these are actually the interests of the users that are coming to your site. And we call this the audience radar. So when we actually put our tag on an advertiser site, and then we just start looking at, okay, what are the kind of users that are coming to your site from the Sanoma network? And then this can then help the advertiser in finding, okay, what should be the right kind of creatives, what should be the right message, how could you then target your message to different kinds of users. And here is the results of the campaign. So this is the test group, so the ones that was the non-targeted ad creators versus then the targeted ones, and the best results were almost double the CTR for those creatives. So this sort of gave us the sort of the impression that at least we can start to develop this product more, and Nokia was really impressed with these results. And actually, by the number of N8 phones that they were able to sell through this product, they couldn't tell us how many, but they say that this was one of the better campaigns that they were able to do for the launch. And then another byproduct of this was that now we could actually say that the people who then came to the store, what kind of interest do these users have? So, so photography, gadget, technology buffs is probably not a surprise, but then again the surprise was here in the ones that weren't so interesting. So, for example, entertainment, media, celebrity, being active outdoors, nightlife, culture, and so on. So based on these results, then the Nokia people were able to then design other kinds of campaigns and the other kinds of creatives to try and attract these people and to try and sort of tune their message. So how can we then sell more phones with the right message to these peoples? And then, so here is the overall the results. So several of the target groups had 1.4% click-through, which at least for our network is a very good CTR percent. The performance level was 208, and Nokia received some valuable insight into the target groups. So now, then we moved from the pilot to the product, and now, so we are now marketing this especially towards media agencies in Finland. So this is basically a product which is mostly for sort of high-end brand advertisers, and as you can see, the CPM prices are quite high, and you can target then on these interest profiles. So we have those 25 interest profiles, then on social demographics, so age, income, the number of children in the family, and so on, and then also on this risk, so values and attitudes. So here is what the social demographic criteria are, and then here are the 25 interest categories. So there's everything from animal lovers and travel enthusiasts to people interested in food and the environment and so on. And each of these categories have been designed so that there are at least 350,000 unique users per month in those categories. So this way we're able to also reach big enough groups that these are commercially interesting for large advertisers. So this was what I was thinking to tell about this new BT product and the process that has been involved in building this. And as I said, we are very proud about this. It's been a fairly interesting project with all those arrows going back and forward to different systems. And what we are building next is we are building some self-service user interface for media agencies that they can go in and actually play around with this target group, so you can see how many there are in different groups. Our vision is to have something very similar to what Facebook has today, where you can go in and say you want to target exactly certain interests, certain demographics, and then you will see so how many are in this group, and then you can sort of move directly from there to seeing, okay, so what is the ad inventory, so how many of these can I reach per week or per month, and then from there go directly into buying that ad space. So we'll see where we'll be a year from now, but I think this is a fairly interesting new offering on the Finnish market. If you want to know more, then here are the people who've been involved in the project. We're going to have a short break now, so you can also come and talk to us during the break, or then we have some time for some more questions here now.
We have some time, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes for questions, so feel free to shoot some questions to Anders.
Please.
Yes, is this available in all the sites of Sanoma network?
Yeah, this is through the Sanoma ROA network.
Okay. Can I ask a question about one number? It was a few slides back, it was the percentages. It already went up to 143. What exactly, yeah.
This one.
No, one forward. Forward. This index,
Yeah.
what does it show? Like this.
So basically, so 100% is the average of all of these.
Yeah.
So this is how much more they are sort of differ from the middle of the index.
Oh.
So it's sort of like this has a negative correlation here at the bottom, and that has a positive correlation on the top. So basically, if you would put all of them together, then it would be 100.
So people with photography thing are 143% more likely to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
What are the best CTR what people have kept their campaigns? What is the best one about?
I think the very best one we've had is 4%.
Yeah.
And it depends really a lot on the creative that the client has. We see that usually there is like a 30 to 200% better performance with the non-targeted versus the targeted one. So this sort of targeting doesn't always work. It's not. This is not a sort of what should I say, silver bullet for reaching your right audience. I think our biggest learning here has been that actually the advertiser or we usually think that we know who the right target audience for a certain product or a certain service is, but we are usually wrong. For example, with the Nokia campaign, there was a lot of assumption that Nokia had beforehand, which actually wasn't right. So there was also, for example, there was over 80% of the people who went to the shop were actually male, and Nokia had thought that it wouldn't be so male-dominated, for example.
Yeah.
So I think the best part of this is actually now we can understand, we can see who are the ones, what kind of people actually convert, and then we can change the creative, or we can change the actual segmentation based on that information.
Is there possible to make text ads in Sanoma sites?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Sanoma Outlet is the product for that.
Yeah.
so where do you get the demographic data?
So demographic data comes from we do questionnaires on the sites. So for the first round that we had a questionnaire that 4,000 unique persons responded to, and then we then took the cookie, so the browsing history of those 4,000, and then we correlated that to how does that behavior of those 4,000 then actually match the whole inventory.